Okay, so after somebody answers the phone now, we're going to let it roll here for a second.
Hello. Good evening, John.
Good evening.
Now, I notice the first thing you do, and I think this is a very important thing, you say something and you wait for a response, don't you?
Exactly.
And why is that so important?
Because this is dialogue. Remember, this is not me against him.
Right.
It's us together. And I want to give him an opportunity to speak, and I want him to know that I'm not, I don't want to come in too pushy.
Right.
I want to say hello.
Yeah, and interaction is the key, because a lot of people, because they get excited or they're nervous, they just start talking real fast, bam, right through to the thing.
Exactly.
But that is not the key. The key here is to speak slowly and confidently, isn't it? And
yes.
Interaction, as you said. So you say hello, you wait for them to respond with a hello. Great. Okay, let's go into that, because that's a really important point, because here again, as we said, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So these first few minutes are really most critical in setting up the rest of your call, because if you don't have the right set point in the very beginning, the rest of the call you're going to be chasing it the whole time instead of controlling it.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. All right, let's move on to the next
All right,
one.
John, this is Doug calling. How are you?
I'm doing just fine.
Beautiful, beautiful. Listen, John, I'm real glad I've got a hold of you. From what I understand, you have been searching on the internet, John, looking for an opportunity to make good, consistent money from home. Is this right?
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Okay, so right there in the very beginning, you make a couple of statements. I would call those statements of undeniable truths. In other words, a reason to get them to say, you're looking for a yes response, or you call it, what you call it, a bark, right?
Exactly.
Right. So it kind of makes it kind of fun. But what you want to do is you're trying to establish a kind of a yes set mindset there. In other words, like Doug says something that is true, right?
Yes.
A true statement, meaning, like in this case, you've been searching on the internet, haven't you, for an opportunity, which we know all these people have, correct?
Exactly.
That is a universal truth that they could try to deny, and some people, of course, will try to deny because they're scared. But the average person will say, yeah, I have been.
Yes, and that makes it easy, because remember, if the person doesn't have a certain level of interest, you want to find out as quickly as possible.
Right.
So as soon as I say hello, it accomplishes more than establishing rapport. It also lets us know where the prospect is.
Right.
I'm making a very simple statement. It's their opportunity to say yes. We know then we're on the same page. They know exactly why I'm calling, and they're basically giving me permission to go forward on this subject.
Right, so this basically sets the tone for the entire call again.
Yes, it does.
So if you're struggling with this in the very beginning, this may not be the prospect for you. You may be able to recover with this, and I don't want to say that every single one of these would be something that doesn't work out, but if you have less chance of it being successful if you can at least get some minor agreements up front, right?
Absolutely right. If the person says, if you've been looking on the internet, and if they say no, remember, you're going to have yourself an uphill battle.
Right.
I'm looking for certain things, especially when I make contact. The prospecting part can be rather arduous if you don't take the time to find the right individual and identify the person you need to speak to as quickly as possible.
And this, again, goes back to being the doctor, too, right? Because the doctor is in a controlling thing. Tell me how sick you are, son.
Exactly.
I mean, that kind of a thing, right?
Exactly.
Okay, great. All right, let's move on here to the next section.